I forgot to warm up.
You want to do some vocal warm-ups? I slit a sheet I slit. Upon a slitted sheet I sit. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Alright, I think we're good.
Yep.
Alright.
Hi guys, I'm Arleo. Welcome to the Kitchen Drink, where we're raiding your fridges and making some delicious crafty cocktails. Today I'm here with Alex.
Well,
Guess what apartment we're back in, because it's another holiday.
it's Easter. No, it's the 4th of July.
It's the 4th of July. Why is the 4th of July important? I only know it from Hamilton.
Oh, the Declaration of Independence was signed by really only one person. Continental Congress signed it at increments.
Wait, then why don't we celebrate like the entire time?
Well, because we'd just be celebrating from July until, I think, September.
That sounds amazing! He sounds like he's not from this state, but why don't you tell us where you're really from and what you do and all those normal people things.
I'm a normal person. I'm from Rhode Island. I'm a student at Brandeis University, getting my master's degree in global studies. That's that. I suppose that's all I am.
Have I made drinks for you before?
You never actually made a drink for me. I'm very excited.
That's really surprising, because I tend to just throw myself at people, but like, let me make a drink for you. What kinds of things do you usually like drinking?
Ales, lagers, generally a beer person, so they're carbonated, lovely, fizzy. I tend to not drink mixed drinks whatsoever, but I do enjoy them. Yeah, beyond that, yeah, bourbons and your Scotch whiskies. And I like the fruity notes of brandy.
You don't hear very often of people liking brandy. I don't remember if there is brandy in this apartment.
A little bit right there.
Oh,
Just a wee bit.
Did you bring that?
I didn't know. I think that's been sitting there for a little while.
That's okay. Alcohol is sterile.
That's right.
I'm gonna see if I can make a drink for Alex that is both for this holiday and satisfies that ale lager feeling. I'm ready to get off this floor and make a drink. You ready to stay on this floor and get that drink?
I'm certainly ready to stay on this floor and get a drink.
I'll be right back.
Tops.
Before we head to the fridge, I'm gonna grab this brandy. And I'd love to use this lemon curd again, but instead, we'll grab the wine and spiked seltzer. Perhaps a little old A&W will work with this lemon juice and caramel. We're going to start off with lemon and use the flat soda as the sour part of our drink, and then pop open the caramel to use as our sweetener. Both the brandy and the wine will be the spirit of this cocktail once we check that the wine isn't too turned, which would actually be fine if it was. Egg white is going to cover up a lot of the harshness of the ingredients. Despite all the caramel I used, most of the flavor didn't really transfer since it was pretty thick and solid. I really should have softened it up with some hot water. Didn't learn my lesson the second time either. I wanted to use these star sprinkles as a floating garnish, but unfortunately, this particular egg foam wasn't as solid as I needed it to be, but that's alright. Let's see what Alex thinks. Maybe it was a bad idea to be on the floor. Here's your very clearly red, white, and blue drink.
Splendid. Shall I tuck in?
Oh, it is yours now. You
mine.
get to do whatever you would like with it. Except throw it out. Please don't throw it out.
Alright. Okay. I can definitely get the brandy. It's very frothy. There's definitely a soda. Cream soda? Weird bits of yellow in it. Am I getting lemon? I can't quite tell. It's probably not lemon, but
Do you know what a sidecar is?
I don't know.
Little cocktail class time. Every liquor has its primary sour drink. Whiskey has the whiskey sour. Vodka and gin have the gimlet. Rum has the daiquiri. Tequila has the margarita. And brandy has the sidecar. Lemon juice, brandy, and a little triple sec or orange liqueur, usually with a sugar rim. Does that help at all?
I think it does. Is there a wine in here? Probably like a Chardonnay or something. End analysis. I'm thinking there was some sort of soda. I'm going to call it cream soda. There was likely some bit of ice cream in there. There's the brandy. And there's a wine thing in there, and then there's oh, bugger. And I'm at a loss for anything else.
You kind of guessed almost everything that's in there. Congratulations!
Alright.
So like I said, this is based off the sidecar. Brandy and cognac in a sidecar. So what I used was the last ounce and a half of this brandy. It's finally done. Here's your commemorative bottle.
Thank you.
Next up in our sidecar, we have lemon juice. Typically fresh lemon, but in a pinch, we can use something from concentrate. We can use
Straight bloody lemon juice.
straight bloody lemon juice. Not bloody, just
Normal.
It kind of looks like you're about to do a nasal rinse with that lemon, which would be a terrible idea.
I would imagine it would be. But for entertainment's sake.
Do not try this at home! And the last ingredient that's in a typical sidecar is triple sec. There is no triple sec here, I believe, but there is another fruity alcoholic ingredient that I used instead, and you guessed it, and you actually guessed the varietal as well, and that is some Chardonnay. I used the Chardonnay because brandy's made from grapes, wine's made from grapes, they're gonna mesh really well together. I don't know how old that white wine was. Definitely a little bit acidic. I made a boo-boo. So usually when you're working with a very viscous syrup, you really should dilute it down with hot water to make it easier to work with. There is a sweetener in there, and I added so much of it, I kept trying, and trying, and trying. I shook this thing like 4 or 5 times trying to add as much of the sweetness as I could. Doesn't dissolve because sugar doesn't like dissolving when it's cold. This particular sugar was salted caramel. I love caramelized simple syrup. Cook your sugar at about 475, wait for it to brown, all of it, and then you add your hot water. Be careful, sugar burns hurt. Try this at home, but under supervision of an adult, but you should be an adult because...
You're watching a show about drinking.
Parental advisory, but you should be the parent. I saw the salted caramel and I was like, I'm gonna give that a try. This is way thicker, this is usually on ice cream. What I should have done was get some hot water, do about 1-to-1 caramel to hot water to make a much smoother, easier to work with liquid. If we look at the tins, there's still a huge clump of caramel in there. You thought there was ice cream in this.
I did think there was ice cream.
Which is totally viable. It's a cream ingredient, but the source of frothiness and murkiness in this drink wasn't ice cream. I actually threw an egg white in there to give it the frothy texture.
Really? I say.
Last ingredient here, it was the second thing you guessed, and I was honestly surprised you guessed it. I said this drink is based off a sidecar. It's not just based off the sidecar, it's also based off basically a root beer float. You got it. It's A&W cream soda, very old cream soda. This thing is completely dead. This is a strange version of an alcoholic root beer float. It's appropriate because we're celebrating 4th of July, and you usually have those on that day, right?
I guess.
I don't know.
We'll call it appropriate.
It didn't work, but the last thing that I threw on top because I was trying to make it festive with some stars was Christmas sprinkles for 4th of July. So guys, that's Alex's kitchen drink where we put in everything
but the kitchen sink.
Remember to drink responsibly. Bye!
Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July with these freaking Christmas sprinkles in their cocktail. We're about 6 months too early and 6 months too late at the same time.